then I get into this battle in my head of like, how can you feel like you have faith and you know things are gonna work out, but you're still sitting here with this doubt? Like, so starting to question yourself. And hey. Welcome. Welcome back to Two Little Wine Podcast with
Jada
and Ashley.
Cheers.
Cheers. Don't mind the ice.
Today it tastes like we're drinking water with a little hint of wine.
Ice melted, but
it's no bueno. But we're gonna drink it. So on today's episode, we wanted to really just talk about how we're doing, right?
Yeah. Get like
a little personal.
Yeah. Let y'all in on where we are in this season of our lives, what we're the good, the bad,
where we want to be, how we're doing to get what are we doing to get there?
Yeah.
The not so fun parts. All right, Ashley, you go first.
I know it's like yeah, we're gonna get into it.
So I feel like the reason why we really wanted to talk about this though is because so many people, I think, can resonate with where we are or how we are feeling in this moment in time right now.
Yeah.
Of April 2024. It's wild out here. How you feeling?
I definitely feel like I am in a me season, right? Like trying to pouring into me, figuring out, bringing myself back to what do I want, reshifting my focus. And in turn, it feels like I'm waiting.
Yes.
Waiting.
With anxiety and stress of what comes next.
Yes.
What is the next big thing that's going to propel me to where I want to be?
Right.
It's like it feels like a weight on the shoulders.
Yo, so the other day, when was it? It was Thursday night. I was at work. It was maybe 5, 6, maybe 5:30. And I texted a massage therapist that I've gone to before. And I'm like, do you have anything for tonight or tomorrow? Because I had Friday off. And she was like, oh, I have, tomorrow. When I went, she's like, you are so tense.
Like you're literally holding the tension.
Yes.
Yeah.
To the touch. It was after I was looking in the mirror yo, did she leave bruises? Because it hurt that bad.
And then that's how much.
But it hurt so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
But our internal stress is physically coming out. Yeah, it's so bad.
Yeah.
I've made it a point to every month now get a massage just to release everything. Because I feel like I'm literally like this. And it's just the chaos in my mind of, okay, this is where I feel like I need to be. I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to put everything in line, and it's just chaotic. And it brings me down in a way because it's like, yo, why can't I just relax? What is this anxiety? Where is it coming from? Why do I feel like this? Why can't I just breathe?
Yeah.
Also knowing that it's okay to feel those emotions. You're very aware of how to process things, but still feeling all the feelings, all the feels.
And I think also being aware of this is normal. This is very common to feel better, or even knowing the things that you can do to relieve that stress and anxiety is even that is a task.
Why do we question ourselves? It's good to hold yourself at a high standard, but we put so much pressure, I think, to be perfect or to figure out the perfect way of doing things. Why? And
then I honestly end up doing nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is putting ourselves back into the cycle of what the hell are we doing, right? Yeah. There was this TikTok that I came across about this entrepreneur, and they asked her, what would you tell your younger self? And I think that everything that she spoke about has to do with just life and not just being an entrepreneur. But what would she tell her younger self? So I think she's in her 40s. What would she tell her 20, 30 years old self? Or what like, what should she hear, right? And the first one was be delusional, like, be delulu. Like, just put in your head of what it is that you want to do and just do it. Even if you feel crazy doing it, even if you're questioning yourself throughout the way, you're like, oh, should I do this? Should I not do this? Just do it. Just do it. You're not going to regret it.
Well, here we are.
Yeah. With this podcast.
This is definitely one of those things.
And then the second one was keep your doubt to yourself. Don't speak it. Because that's when it will start to hold you back. That's when people will start questioning you. You question yourself. We're already doubters. We already question ourselves a million times. Don't put it out there.
Yeah.
Basically. She's like, keep it to yourself.
And like the power of the tongue is so, like your tongue is so powerful. Like what you say, what you speak.
Yeah. It literally will come to fruition.
Yeah.
So us having this self-doubt, I mean, we're speaking about it now, but in a positive way, right? To share awareness that we're all in this weird boat. But really, she was like, that self-doubt that you have, keep it to yourself. And just execute. So really is just however even if you feel like shit, like, I don't know, or I'm tired, or I don't know. Basically, just do it. Just do anything to put yourself forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. It definitely makes sense. Absolutely. I think that saying it and like hearing someone and for it to resonate is one thing. And then like putting it into practice is where like, that's where for me the challenge lies. I feel like I am so far away from things that I want in the future. And there was a time where I felt like those things were so close. So like, being married, buying a house, like feeling like I was in a good place in my career, like all of those things at one point they felt really close and really good. Over like the last year and a half, it really has felt like shaking that snow globe. And if I feel so far, but I also know that is just my timeline. Like in reality, in God's plan, I'm closer. You know what I mean? And so having that that battle with myself of like, what was, and that's it.
And I think that also stems from us comparing ourselves to other people because our life is our only, like we have this timeline. It's just us. Who are we racing? We're not racing against nobody. It's just us. So what are we trying to speed up? Or what are we trying to jump over? Right? It's that only comes into place when you're comparing yourself to other people. And I think that's the biggest thing is trusting that it's okay. It's going to work out the way it's meant to be. With God's will, yeah.
And I feel like too, not even like comparing myself to other people, but comparing myself and where I am to the plan that I had in my own head.
Yeah.
Like that is, I struggle really hard to like let go of that and like feeling like I'm behind from where I wanted to be. From where, exactly. Of course, my own plan for what I wanted definitely like took into account societal pressures and like other factors. But at the end of the day, it was still like my plan or my idea. I never well, maybe when I was like younger and I felt like 30 was like old, but like I would say, you know, at like 25, I didn't expect to be married with kids by 30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but there are things that I thought life was gonna look different. And so in accepting and embracing this particular place in my life and just being like, this is great. I have like two extremes where I'm like saying yes to everything and doing everything, or I'm like sitting on my bed, like literally feeling like just scrolling my life away, or like just feeling like time is just passing.
Yeah. And I think that in life, those are the beautiful moments, right? We're supposed to feel these ups and these downs, these crazy feelings. We're supposed to have our lows and then our highs. I think for me, I can definitely resonate with what you're saying. And it's just remembering that it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Also, as women, like we be going through a lot, depending on the freaking time of the month. You know what I'm saying?
I kid you not. Like,
we get so emotional. Like, it's 1,000 times.
Yes. Like
harder.
Last week,
Oh yeah, I cried so much.
Yeah, I thought that there was never gonna be a light at the end of that tunnel. Like I was like, this week is gonna be forever. I'm gonna feel like so terrible forever. I'm never gonna stop crying. Like, and I'm not a person. I hate crying.
You gotta work on that. Crying is so good.
I mean, I allow myself to cry, but I don't like it.
Why not?
Like people enjoy a good cry very rarely. When I didn't cry so often, I used to enjoy a good cry. But now, like,
toughen up.
We could cry right now. I could probably cry in any moment.
All that to say, it's okay. Right?
Well, yeah. But if you know me, like, you know that I'm like, I'm trying to cry. I know, bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll be like, I'm so weak. Feeling bad for myself. But it makes me feel so good. These eyes, I'm seeing your eyes and I could cry right now too.
Not the glossy. The gloss just came over them.
Right? No, I feel like right now, where we want to be is not as far as we think, like you mentioned. And these hills that we're going through is a part of what everybody's feeling it. Or most people can be like, all right, this is... I feel exactly the same way.
I will say, I feel like, and of course everybody has their struggles differently, but I can see where I am now. Like I think about some of my close friends and I can see like, oh, this is kind of like they were in their moment of this, a year ago, 2 years ago, a couple months ago, and look at them now. Like, so that brings me like hope of like, look, and I'm thankful that they give me so much grace. They're like, you're in it and
that's the thing. We don't give ourselves enough grace. The grace that we give others, that we give our friends, we would never tell our friends, you're behind, Ashley. We would never. And it's not that because we don't want to hurt their feelings, because we don't believe that.
Right.
But we believe that for ourselves.
Yeah.
Like we don't give enough grace to ourselves. We're so hard on ourselves. But again, for me, I think it stems from comparing yourself with others. Like, yes, you can have your own timeline, but what in the grand scheme of things, how did you come up with that timeline?
Right.
You know, because I could say, the way that my life has played out until this point, I thought I was gonna be freaking doing something else. Like I'm going back to school for something completely different that I would have never thought. My kid self was like, "What? You're going back to school for this?" You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, it's just like in enjoying the craziness or the spontaneity of today in the present moment. Like grounding yourself in the present moment. I think that's hard for us.
Yes.
I think we're so focused on where we want to be and figuring out the steps to get there that we don't necessarily enjoy right here always. Where I feel like most of our energy should be here, and then thinking about the future.
Yeah. I mean,
like how many people can say, you can probably think of all these people that would be like, wow, like Ashley, you've come so far, and they're like, yeah, well, I haven't come far enough.
Right. Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah.
There's one of the like quotes that I love is, you're living a prayer that you like, you're living the time or something that you once prayed for. Right. And
yes. Like you once prayed for this.
Yeah.
To think of that is so beautiful. And I can't wait because we're doing this podcast to see us grow, right?
Yeah.
We're going to look back on this and be like, yo,
look where we are.
For real. Like that was part of their journey. That was part of our journey. Yeah.
So I'm trying, and I honestly agree. I think that based on the time of the month, it's so much easier to give myself grace and to accept where I am and to be like, okay, I'm going to still live.
Yes.
Right? Like not being where I want to be, I'm not going to let it keep me from like living. We had talked about, I think in our Q&A, about hobbies. So I've been seeing a therapist for a while, and that's part of like me like discovering myself and like kind of unlearning some of the
bad habits.
The habits are like my way of thinking as far as like where I am and where I want to be, and like putting this, I feel this pressure that I put on myself so hard to like make my parents proud, to make myself proud, to make sure when I do something, I do it well. And like, if I'm not going to do it well, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Of not wanting to fail, not wanting to feel embarrassed.
Yes.
Yo, my therapist called me out on that, and I was like, Yeah.
It's the control in you, because we've talked about this on certain on
of
other
just not
podcasts.
wanting to feel embarrassed.
No.
Yeah. So many things. So he was basically like, try this. Like, what about this? What about, he mentioned painting. He mentioned like an instrument, like all these things, which is so interesting because these are all things that he mentioned that I had tried before. Like growing up, I used to like paint or do like a lot of art stuff. I used to sketch. I wanted to be like a fashion designer. So I used to like make, like
I feel like
sketch
I
out
remember
clothes.
That era.
Yeah. Or like, what else? I remember I had told my parents I wanted to learn how to play the piano. So I started like lessons. I think I had maybe like 3 lessons, and I said to my instructor, I'm like, I want to learn how to play like Alicia Keys. Like I don't want to be sitting here like learning where the keys are. Like I just want to be able to like close my eyes.
Control, Ashley, control.
But just wanting to like speed up that process.
Yeah.
So I still have to do it. I mean, it's Tuesday and I see him later this week, and he's like, so I can't wait to see what you do during this week. And
it's like finding little joys outside of what you think you should be doing.
Right.
Just enjoying. Well, that's the thing. It's enjoying the moment, enjoying today, enjoying the present.
Like you may not be where you want to be, but you can still enjoy. You still need to live your life.
Correct.
In the meantime, like you can't just sit at home. That's not gonna make you feel good.
This is crazy
either.
because it's ironic that today I was watching Click with Adam Sandler.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, where he has the remote and he's able to fast forward through time. And he doesn't remember things because he fast forwarded to him. So in the beginning of the movie, if you haven't watched it, whenever he ran into a problem or something annoyed him or something with work that he just wanted to get done fast, he just wanted to get the promotion, he would fast forward a little bit. But then the remote starts to kind of basically like do these things on its own based on why he was fast forwarding.
His previous experiences.
Yes. So now he starts fast forwarding years and years, and he's missing so much.
Oh my
just because that's what he did in the beginning. Like if we had the opportunity to fast forward through, that's not what life is about.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't do it. If you had the age old question, like if you could know like how you're gonna die or when you're gonna die, would you want to know?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Because that's going to change the trajectory of how we live our lives.
Right.
One, we could be super miserable, or 2, we could be super chaotic because we're going to die. You know what I mean? And it's very much easier said than done. I'm like, we're talking through this, and still, I will probably still tomorrow be like, damn, like, was that the right decision?
Of course, this is.
But it's giving your grace to yourself, like, it's okay.
It doesn't, we go through waves.
Yeah.
Right? Like, definitely can feel sometimes I'm like, I feel really good. I feel content where I am. And I know that I'm working towards these other things that I want to accomplish. And then literally the next day, I'm like, wait, what?
like, where was you at?
Super down on myself about it. But in those moments, like thinking about how can we remind ourselves of like, accept it, feel it for that moment, but like, okay, let it go.
Back up. Yeah, pick yourself back up.
Yeah.
The sun will shine tomorrow.
Instead of like holding on to this angst and stress.
And creating sadness. You're creating these things for yourself that don't really have to be there.
Yeah. Definitely. And I feel like, and my mom used to say this to me like growing up, like when I would get upset about something or like sad, and then I will be like, oh, like, I'm just going to go to my room. I'm going to take a nap. I'm going to sleep. And she'll be like, okay, like, you can feel that, but don't, like, no te pase, basically. Like, don't let it go on to the next day and to the next day, because then that's how we get, like, long stretches of depression or sadness and not being able to, like, get yourself out of it.
100%.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I know.
Yeah, deep breath, man. This is so interesting. And I feel like as I've grown spiritually, it has been helpful for me to like accept where I am and to be like, things are going to be okay, and to like increase my faith and feel that strongly. But then I still have moments of doubt. And then I'm like, then I get into this battle in my head of like, how can you feel like you have faith and you know things are going to work out, but you're still sitting here with this doubt? Like, so starting to question yourself. And
There's these little journal entries that it's like whenever you're feeling down about something, whenever you're feeling like you're stuck in a rut or you're questioning everything, list 5 to 10 things that you're grateful for in this moment right now.
Yep.
And like that, it picks you back up.
Yeah. Gratitude is a really powerful, like, gratitude journaling and like just sitting in gratitude, because you can't feel grateful and anxious at the same time, or grateful and sad at the same time. Like, it can be a fleeting feeling, yes.
Your mind is powerful.
Yeah.
Your spirit is so powerful. And just know that, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Even if it's your time of the month.
Yes. Yes. But accepting the unknown, for me, it has definitely been leaning on like my faith. How about for you? How has that?
I feel like it's been, I guess I can say my faith too. I mean, I haven't been going, or like I don't go to church or anything like that. But with the sitting in meditation and thinking about what is my happiness right now, and just feeling that, and taking those little steps.
Yeah. I think another thing for me too is like talking to people close to me, of like being able to like get it off my chest and like use their perspective to like shine light back into me.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, especially like, you know, when you have close people, obviously you know who you're gonna talk to, right? And you know that they're not coming from a malicious place or judgmental place or anything like that. They genuinely want to see you do good. It feels really good.
I'll try that.
One of my favorite things.
Yeah. For me, it's always internal instead of doing that like that way. I'm always like, all right, let me write things down. When I'm really down, I'm just like, let me write things down, because I can see clearly. All right, this is my thought process right now. No, let's shift that. Yeah,
like journaling. I think sometimes too, like I talk to my mom a lot, and I feel like there are things she will call out in me,
that
like
you don't see.
That I don't see, that I know, but like that I don't want to go there. So like I've been struggling a lot with like letting go of control. That's been the theme. And like also so letting go of control and like living in the moment and stuff like that. And she's like, well, she's been challenging me to like look into where it comes from, as far as like, why am I so stressed about this plan that I had in my head? And when did that start? Like,
where does it stem from?
Yes. And she's like, you know, basically like, look into your childhood. There are things that dad and I passed to you that, you know, may be causing some of these feelings. But she also knows that I'm like, no, like you guys were perfect. Like it was amazing. It was perfect. And she's like, this doesn't mean you didn't have a good...
that doesn't mean, exactly. You can have the most perfect life and you can still be going through stuff.
Right. And there are still going to be things that impact you as a child, like into your adulthood from your childhood, even when you did have like a perfect childhood or whatever.
Oh, that's a whole nother segment, childhood trauma.
Yeah.
For real. Because I could name so many childhood traumas that I have come to understand, I have come to terms with, I have acknowledged, I have forgiven, and I'm still, it still makes me the person. I can still catch myself like, wow, childhood trauma. And I say it jokingly, but, you know, we work through it every day.
Yeah, like, even when you get to a place of like, okay, I know that I'm letting go of this thing. I know I want to let it go. It was still like, it still pops back up.
It's the subconscious, and it's actively, continuously working through those things.
And it will literally never stop.
It will never stop.
And that's what life is.
Oh, it's so hard. So much work. Life is like never ending school, man.
The school of life.
The school of life. You took it from my head.
Yeah. Well.
I know. Breathe.
I definitely
I feel better this week. Sorry to cut
you off,
but
that's what I was gonna say, because I feel like last week I was so stressed, and if we would have been talking, I would have been like boo-hoo crying right now.
Bawling.
Boo-hoo crying. Yeah. But I feel good. Yeah.
all this to say, it will be good. We just work through it. This chaotic mess of life. You're not alone.
And it is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Through all of its sham and drudgery, it is still a beautiful world.
Cute. Is that from the Bible?
No, it's from another line from my favorite poem.
I like it.
Yes. But thank you for tuning in. We hope that with this episode, you kind of felt a little closer to us and something resonated with you if you are also in your waiting season or accepting the unknown right now. You are not alone. We are here.
We are here.
We are with you. And yeah.
Thank you for having this space with us.
Yes. I'm super grateful for this space to be able to
let it out.
Desahogarme because, wow.
We needed it.
Yes. Thank you. See you next week.
See you next week.
Cheers.